Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yatha Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Scha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishikam Vitam Scha Om Jnana Timarandasha Jnanachana Shalakaya Chakshurum militam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gorva Bhistam Supurakam Gorganara Sesha Sambhushitam Chintya Samasta Veda Nipanam Shri Rupa Patanugam Govindabidam Ujjalam Varatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Vande Vishwa Gurun Cha Divyat Bhagavat Premna Ebija Pranam Devam Divyatanum Suchandavananam Balarka Chelanchitam Sandrananda Puram Sadekavaranam Vairagya Vidyamburim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Varam Banditam Shivaram Mareka Sharanam Nyashishara Sridharam Manchakopatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahavananyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratabhishe Namah. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupad. This is Madhya-lila chapter 8. Talks between the Lord and Ramananda Raya. And today I'll begin with verse number 267. Ek samshaya mora achaye hridaye kripa kore kahamore taha nischaye. Ramananda Raya then said that he had but one doubt within his heart, and he petitioned the Lord, please be merciful upon me and just remove my doubt. Bahile dekilun tomar sanyasi swarup, ebe toma deki mui shamagopa rup. Ramananda Raya then told Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, at first I saw you appear like a sannyasi, but now I am sent.
Jai Ram Vishnu Paramahansa Srila Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj.
Okay. Ek samshaya mora chaye hridaye kripa kore kahat more tahara nischaye. Ramananda Raya then said he had but one doubt within his heart, and he petitioned the Lord, please be merciful upon me and just remove my doubt. Bahile dekilun tomar sanyasi swarup, ebe toma deki mui shamagoparup. Ramananda Raya then told Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, at first I saw you appear like a sannyasi, but now I am seeing you as Sham Sundar, the cowherd boy. Tomara samuke deki kanchana panchalika, Taragora Kanje Tomar Sarva Anga Dakara. I now see you appearing like a golden doll, and your entire body appears covered by a golden luster. Tahate Prakata Dekun Tahate Prakata Dekon Sabam Shibadan Nanababe Chanchala Tahe Kamala Nayan. I see that you are holding a flute to your mouth, and your lotus eyes are moving very restlessly due to various ecstasies. Emata Thomas Deki Hoy Chamatkar Akapate Kaha Prabhu Karana Ihar. I actually see you in this way, and this is very wonderful. My Lord, please tell me without duplicity what is causing this. Prabhu Kohe Krishna Tomar Gara prema hoy, premara swabhava e janiya nischoy. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, you have a deep love for Krishna, and one who has such deep love, and one who has such deep ecstatic love for the Lord naturally see things in such a way. Please take this from me to be certain. So Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, you have a deep love for Krishna, and one who has such deep ecstatic love for the Lord naturally sees things in such a way. Please take this from me to be certain. Mahabhagavata deke stavara jangama taha tahan hoitara Sri Krishna swaran. A devotee advanced on the spiritual platform sees everything movable and inert as the Supreme Lord. For him, everything he sees here and there is but a manifestation of Lord Krishna. Stavara jangama deke na deke tara murti sarvatra hoy nija ishta deva swarti. The Mahabhagavata, the advanced devotee, certainly sees everything mobile and immobile, but he does not exactly sees their forms. Rather, everywhere he immediately sees manifest the form of the Supreme Lord. The Mahabhagavata, the advanced devotee, certainly sees everything mobile and immobile, but he does not exactly see their forms. Rather, everywhere he immediately sees manifest the form of the Supreme Lord. Sarvabhuteshu yapasyed, Sarvabhuteshu yapasyed, Bhagavad Bhavamatmanaha, Bhutani Bhagavati Atmani, Esha Bhagavatottama. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, a person advanced in devotional service sees within everything the soul of souls, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Consequently, he always sees the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the cause of all causes and understands that all things are situated in him. So Ramananda Raya is saying that he sees Mahaprabhu. First he saw him as sannyasi, then he sees him as Shyam Sundar, Lord Krishna, and then he also says, but he sees him covered with a golden luster, like indicating the presence of the luster of Srimati Radharani. So he says he sees Mahaprabhu in these different ways, and he's actually seeing things in that way. And then Mahaprabhu says, well, that is because you're a Mahabhagavata. You see everywhere the manifestation of the Supreme Lord. But Ramananda Raya he understands that Mahaprabhu is still hiding something in this explanation. So, Manalatas Tarava Atmani Vishnum Vyanchayanta Iva Pushpa Faladyaha Pranatabara Vitapa Marudara Premarishta Tanavo Vabrishusma. The plants, creepers, and trees were full of fruits and flowers due to ecstatic love of Krishna. Indeed, being so full, they were bowing down. They were inspired by such deep love for Krishna that they were constantly pouring showers of honey. In this way, the gopis saw all the forest of Vrindavan. So Mahaprabhu is saying, you see things in this way because you're a Mahabhagavata, and just as the gopis saw, all the forest of Vrindavan is related to Krishna, as everyone is offering service to Krishna. So Mahaprabhu says, that is your vision, and that is why you're seeing me in that way. Radha Krishna Tomar Maha Prema Hoy, Jahan Tahan Radha Krishna Tomare Svaroy. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, my dear Rai, you are an advanced devotee and are always filled with ecstatic love for Radha and Krishna. Therefore, whatever you see anywhere and everywhere simply awakens your Krishna consciousness. Wherever you look, you're seeing manifest Radha and Krishna appearing before you because of your deep love. Raya kohe Prabhu tumi chara bari buri. Raya kohe Prabhu tumi chara Pari Bori, Mora Age Nijarup, Nakoriya Churi. Ramananda Roy replied, "My dear Lord, please give up all these serious talks. Please do not conceal your real form from me." So Ramananda Roy says, is not satisfied with Mahaprabhu's explanation. He says, "Please do not conceal your real form from me. Radhikara Baba Kanti Kore Angikar Nijarasa Shwadite Kore Jacha Avatar." Ramananda Roy continued, "My dear Lord, I can understand that you have assumed the ecstasy and bodily complexion of Srimati Radharani. By accepting this, you are tasting your own personal transcendental rasa, your own transcendental humor, and have therefore appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu." Okay, thank you. So it says, Ramananda Roy continued, "My dear Lord, I can understand that you have assumed the ecstasy and bodily complexion of Srimati Radharani. By accepting this, you are tasting your own personal transcendental humor, means, or your own personal taste, your own rasa can be said to be taste or relationship, but you are tasting your own personal transcendental humor and have therefore appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu." So Ramananda Roy said, "I can understand that you have accepted the ecstasy and the bodily beauty or complexion of Srimati Radharani, and you're doing this to be able to taste that the relationship that she relishes with you. Nijaguda Karya Tomar Prema Ashwadan Anusange Prema Moe Koile Tribhuvan." My dear Lord, you have descended in this incarnation of Lord Chaitanya for your own personal reasons. You have come to taste your own spiritual bliss, and at the same time you are transforming the whole world by spreading the ecstasy of love of Godhead. So this is along with what Krishnadas Kaviraj states in the first chapter of Adi-lila. He says that Mahaprabhu comes for the confidential reasons. Externally, we can see that he's spreading love of God, and he's spreading the Sankirtan movement. He's the Yuga, serving as the Yuga avatar. But then Krishnadas Kaviraj says internally, confidentially, Mahaprabhu comes to covers himself with the Bhavakanti, or the heart and halo of Srimati Radharani, because he wants to know the glory of Srimati Radharani's love. He wants to know that sweetness in himself that only she can relish, and he wants to know the happiness that Srimati Radharani experiences in her loving exchanges with Krishna. And Mahaprabhu and Krishna cannot understand these things externally, or even though he may be Krishna, he can understand these things without accepting the complexion and the feelings of Srimati Radharani. For those confidential reasons he comes. My dear Lord, you have descended in this incarnation of Lord Chaitanya for your own personal reasons. You have come to taste your own spiritual bliss, and at the same time, you are transforming the whole world by spreading the ecstasy of love of Godhead. Apane aile more korite udar, ebe kapata kora tomar kon vyabahar. My dear Lord, by your causeless mercy, You have appeared before me to grant me liberation. Now you are playing in a duplicitous way. What is the reason for this behavior? Tabe hase tare Prabhu dekaila swarup rasaraj mahabhava duye guru. Lord Shri Krishna is the reservoir of all pleasure, and Srimati Radharani is the personification of an ecstatic love of Godhead. So Krishna is Rasaraj. He's the king of all rasas, and Srimati Radharani is Mahabhava. Srimati Radharani is the personification of ecstatic love of Godhead. These two forms had combined as one in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This being the case, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed his real form to Ramananda Roy. This is described as Radha Bhava Dyuti Suvalitam Nomi Krishna Swarupam. Lord Sri Krishna was absorbed in the features of Srimati Radharani. This was disclosed to Ramananda Roy when he saw Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. An advanced devotee can understand Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahayanya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being a combination of Radha and Krishna is non-different from Radha Krishna combined. This is explained by Swarup Damodar Goswami. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir Ladini Shakti Rasmad Ekat Mana Vapi Bhuvi Pura Deha Bedam Gatolto Chaitanyakyam Prakatam Adhuna Tadvayam Chaikyamaptam Radha Bhava Dyuti Suvalitam Nomi Krishna Sarupam. Radha Krishna is one. Radha Krishna is Krishna and Krishna's pleasure potency combined. When Krishna exhibits his pleasure potency, appears to be two, Radha and Krishna. Otherwise, Radha and Krishna are one. This oneness may be perceived by advanced devotees through the grace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This was the case with Ramananda Roy. One may aspire to attain such a position, but one should not try to imitate the Mahabhagavata. Jeki Ramananda Hoila Nande Murchite Darite na Parideho Padila Bhumite. Upon seeing this form, Ramananda Roy lost consciousness in transcendental bliss. Unable to remain standing, he fell to the ground. Prabhutare Hasta Sparshi Koraila Chetan Sanyasira Veshadeki Vishmita Hoilaman. When Ramananda Roy fell to the ground unconscious, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu touched his hand and he immediately regained consciousness. But when he saw Lord Chaitanya in the dress of a sannyasi, he was struck with wonder. Alingana Kori Prabhu Koila Ashvasan Tomabina Erupa Nadeki Anyajan. After embracing Ramananda Roy, the Lord glorified him, informing him, "But for you, no one has ever seen this form." Mora Tattva Lila Rasa Tomara Gochare Ateve Rupa Dekalun Tomare. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu confirmed, "All the truths about my pastimes and morals are within your knowledge." All the truths about my lila, my pastimes and my rasa and my nature All the truths about my pastimes and mellows are within your knowledge. Therefore I have shown this form to you. Gora anga nahimora radhanga sparshan gopendra shuta bina deho nasparshe anyajan. Actually, my body does not have a fair complexion. It only appears so because it is touched by the body of Srimati Radharani. However, she does not touch anyone but the son of Nanda Maharaj. Radharani doesn't touch anyone but Krishna. Tarabhave Bhavita Kori Atmaman Tabinija Madhurya Kori Ashvadan. I have now converted my body and mind into the ecstasy of Srimati Radharani. Thus I am tasting my own personal sweetness in that form. Gaurasundra here informed Sri Ramananda Raya, my dear Ramananda Raya, you were actually seeing a separate person with a fair complexion body. Actually, I'm not fair. Being Sri Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, I'm blackish. But when I come in touch with Srimati Radharani, I become fair complexioned externally. Srimati Radharani does not touch the body of anyone but Krishna. I taste my own transcendental features by accepting the complexion of Srimati Radharani. Without Radharani, one cannot taste the transcendental pleasure of Krishna's conjugal love. In this regard, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur comments on the Prakritas Sahajya Sampradaya, which considers Krishna and Lord Chaitanya to possess different bodies. They misinterpret the words Gora Anga Nahe Mora in text 287. From that verse and the present verse, we can understand Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is non-different from Krishna. Both are the same Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that 287 was. Actually, my body does not have a fair complexion. It only appears so because it has touched the body of Srimati Radharani. However, she does not touch anyone but the son of Krishna. So, the Sahajas misinterpret the words Gora Anga Nahi Mora in text in this verse, 287. From that verse and the present verse, we can understand that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is non-different from Krishna. Both are the same Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the form of Krishna, the Lord enjoys spiritual bliss and remains the shelter of all devotees, Vishaya Vigraha. And in his Sri Gauranga feature, Krishna tastes separation from Krishna in the ecstasy of Srimati Radharani. This ecstatic form is Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna is always the transcendental reservoir of all pleasure, and he is technically called Dhira Lalita. Srimati Radharani is the embodiment of spiritual energy, personified as ecstatic love for Krishna. Therefore, only Krishna can touch her. The Dhira Lalita aspect is not seen in any other form of the Lord, including Vishnu and Narayan. Srimati Radharani is therefore known as Govinda Nandini and Govinda Mohini, for she is the only source of transcendental pleasure for Sri Krishna and the only person who can enchant his mind. Tomaratai Amara Kichu Gupta Nahi Karma Lukaile Prema Bole Jana Sarva Marma. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then admitted to his pure devotee, Ramananda Raya, now there is no confidential activity unknown to you. Even though I try to conceal my activities, you can understand everything in detail by virtue of your advanced love for me. Gupte Radhika Kahan Na Kariyo Prakash Amara Batula Cheshta Loke Upahas. The Lord then requested Ramananda Roy, keep all these talks a secret. Please do not expose them anywhere and everywhere, since my activities appear to be like those of a madman. People may take them lightly and laugh. Ami ek batula tumi dvatiya batula ateva tom tomaya amae hoy samatula. Lord Chaitanya then said, indeed, I am a madman, and you are also a madman. Therefore, we are on the same platform. Erupadasha Ratri Ramananda Sange Suke Gonaila Prabhu Krishna Katarange. For 10 days, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Roy spent a happy time discussing the pastimes of Krishna. Niguda Brajara Rasa Lilara Vichar Aneka Kohilatara Napaila Par. The conversations between Ramananda Roy and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu contain the most confidential subject matters, touching on the conjugal love between Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan, Vrajabhumi. Although they talked at great length about these pastimes, they could not reach the limit of discussion. Tomakansha Rupa Sona Ratna Chintamani Keho Jadi Kahan Pota Pai Ekani. Actually, these conversations are like a great mine where from a single place one can extract all kinds of metals, copper, bell metal, silver, and gold, and also touchstone, the basis of all metals. Kramayu taite seho utamavastupai aiche prashnotara koila Prabhu Ramarai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Roy worked like miners, excavating all kinds of valuable metals, each one better than the other. Their questions and answers are exactly like that. So there's progressive advancement and development in their conversations. Aradina Rai Pashe Vidai Magila Vidayera Kaletare E Agyadila. The next day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu begged Ramananda Roy to give him permission to leave. And at the time of farewell, the Lord gave him the following orders. Vishai Chadiyatumi Jahanila Chale Ami Tirtha Koritaha Asiba Alpakale. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him, give up all material engagements and come to Jagannath Puri. I will return there very soon after finishing my tour and pilgrimage. Duijane Nilachale Rohiva Eksange Suke Ganaiba Kala Krishna Katarange. The two of us shall remain together at Jagannath Puri and happily pass our time discussing Krishna. Itabole Ramanande Korean Lingan Taregare Pataya Korila Shayan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then embraced Sri Ramananda Roy, and after sending him back to his home, the Lord took rest. Pratakali Uti Prabhu Deki Hanuman Tare Namaskare Prabhu Dekine Korila Prayan. After rising from bed the next morning, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited the local temple where there is a deity of Hanuman. After offering him obeisances, the Lord departed for South India. Vidyapuri Nanamata Loka Vaishajat Prabhu Darshane Vaishnava Hoilachari Nijamat. All the residents of Vidyanagar were of different faiths, but after seeing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they abandoned their own faiths and became Vaishnavas. Ramananda Hoila Prabhur Virahe Viva Prabhura Jhane Rahe Rohe Vishaya Chadiya Sakal. When Ramananda Roy began to feel separation from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was overwhelmed. Meditating on the Lord, He gave up all his material business. Sankepi kahilun Ramanander Milan, Vistare Varnite Nare Sahasrabadan. I briefly described the meeting between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Roy. No one can actually describe this meeting exhaustively. It is even impossible for Lord Seshanaga, who has thousands of hoods. Sahije Chaitanya Charitra Gana Dugdapar. Sahaje Chaitanya Charitra Gana Dugdapur Ramananda Charitra Tahe Kanda Prachur. Activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are like condensed milk, and the activities of Ramananda Roy are like large quantities of sugar candy. Radha Krishna Lila Tate Karpura Milan Bhagyavan Jai Se Kori Ashvadan. Their meeting is exactly like a mixture of condensed milk and sugar candy. When they talk of the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, camphor is added. One who tastes this combined preparation is most fortunate. Jai Iha Ekbar Piye Karna Dware Tara Karna Lobe Iha Charitena Pare. This wonderful preparation has to be taken orally. If one takes it, he becomes greedy to relish it even further. Rasa Tattva Jnana Hoy Ihara Shravane Prema Bhakti Hoy Radha Krishna Charane. By hearing the talks between Ramananda Roy and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one becomes enlightened with the transcendental knowledge of the mellows of Radha and Krishna's pastimes. Thus one can develop unalloyed love for the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. Chaitanya Ragura Tattva Jani Iha Hoite Vishvasa Kori Shuna Tarkana Kori Yachite. The author requests every reader to hear these talks with faith and without argument. By studying them in this way, one will be able to understand the confidential truth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Alokika Lila E Paramani Guda Vishvase Paye Tarke Hoy Bahudura. This part of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes is most confidential. One can derive benefit quickly only by faith. Otherwise, by arguing, one will always remain far away. Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Dvaita Charan Jahara Sarvasvatare Mili Edan. He who has accepted as everything the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and Advaita Prabhu can attain this transcendental treasure. Ramananda Raya More Koti Namaskar Jaramuke Koila Prabhu Rasara Vistar. I offer 10 million obeisances unto the lotus feet of Sri Ramananda Roy, because from his mouth much spiritual information has been expanded by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Damodar Swaruper Garacha Anusare Ramananda Milana Lila Korila Prachare. I have tried to preach the pastimes of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's meeting with Ramananda Roy in accordance with the notebooks of Sri Swarup Damodar. Sri Rupa Raghunath Parijara Ash Chaitanya Charitamrita Kohe Krishnadas. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Ramananda, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishnadas, narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps. Thus, and the Bhaktivedanta purports to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya-lila, 8th chapter, describing the talks between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Roy. Hare Haraya Nama Krishna Chaitanya Nama Godavari Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinatha Mayana Mohan Shri Nityananda Shri Aditya Janardan Shiva Sari Gaura Jai Saparikara Shri Shri Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridhari Ju Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajakacharya Ashtatara Satashi Shrimad Srila Bhakti Tilak Neri Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajakacharya Ashtatara Satashi Shrimad Srila Bhakti Nirmalacharya Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajakacharya Ashtatara Satashi Shrimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajakacharya Ashtatara Satashi Shrimad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishordas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Rupanuga Guru Bharga Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasha Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Premsigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Bhagwat Ki Jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vishvavarenya Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupad Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Kusham Ashram Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Ki Jai. Saparshada Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Saparshada Srimad Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Shri Koladvip Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Soquel Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Sevashram Ki Jai. Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Govardhan Sham Kuna Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Jo Ki Jai. Shri Purushottam Dham Ki Jai. Baladev Subhadra Jagannath Jo Ki Jai. Bhakti Vigna Vinashaya Shrina Shingadev Ki Jai. Bhakta Prabhara Shri Prahlad Maharaj Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Sripad, Bhakti Raman, Madhav Maharaj Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari.
Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravajakacharya Srila Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj Ki Jai.